to end the show, our big guest, and our guest found fame in the 80s with, well, it was different.
It was so different.
It was unique.
Never seen it before. Fascinating. Yeah. And he went on to become one of the UK's most iconic singers of all time. Who else could it be than the frontman of Culture Club, Boy George?
George, my friend, good to talk to you. Good to have that look back there as well. Could I just ask you, did you cultivate the look knowing you were going to be famous, or was the look already there, or was it just made for the first single release?
No, I think it was from the minute I saw Ziggy Stardust when I was 11, Bowie, Lewis Imodium, 72 or 73, probably 72. That was it. I just thought, I better get ready just in case.
And just in case happened. It happened very, very well. How did you deal with all that fame, all that attention, the fact that you were so different from so early on? How did you deal with that?
Well, I liked being different, and I still like being different. You know, I think these days it's more about what you think than what you wear that makes you interesting, because I think anyone can dress up now. We've all got access to the sort of makeup, box, and you can dress anybody up as anything these days. But I think for me, it was about, changing the world in a funny sort of naive and beautiful way. I thought I could really affect things. And I think we did a little bit. We did change people's attitudes towards sexuality, towards, look at guys now. They can wear all these beautiful products and pamper themselves and take photos of themselves and put themselves on Instagram. And we've given them sort of permission in a funny sort of way by what we sort of did in the 80s. It's a sort of subtle version of what we were doing, I think.
You were a trailblazer, George. So you're saying, they've got access to makeup now, and you wouldn't have had that so easily. So how did you do it? Were you borrowing it from your mum, your friends?
Not from my mum. My mum only really did a sort of blue eyeshadow, and that wasn't enough for me. So I usually used to go into Woolworths and, I'd pay for some stuff, and some stuff fell into my purse by accident.
Oh, dear. Tell me this. We're looking at the back catalogue of stuff there, and you're still famous. And people, I know you're doing new stuff, which we're going to talk about in a moment, but people still want to hear the old stuff. And take something like Karma Chameleon there. Do you revisit that? I mean, I always love cover versions, people who redo Elvis or redo Johnny Cash. You hear a different interpretation of it. Are you ever tempted to revisit and do it differently?
Well, on Saturday when we do our show, I'm singing Karma with a 16-year-old kid from France called Mila Braga, and we have reconstructed Karma and turned it into this beautiful ballad. We'll probably do both versions because people love they love the hoedown version of it, and it's so familiar. But, it's a bit like going into a house and refurbishing it. When you take a song that's so famous like Karma Chameleon and you go, can we make this different? And weirdly, we have managed to do that. And I think I've been looking at remixing lots of old things just because it's good to kind of look back at things and I see it as taking ownership of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Rather than letting it carry you away, grabbing hold of it and saying, I'm gonna control this, and I'm gonna do new versions, and I'm gonna relook at these songs, and that's good for the audience as well.
Yeah, let's talk about the concert you just mentioned, because we haven't had any live concerts, so this is very exciting. This is at Wembley Arena this Saturday, the 19th. So how has this come about? How many people are allowed to go? What can they expect?
At the current situation, we're allowed to have about 1,000 guests, real people in the auditorium, unless we go into a tier 3, and then we'll have to look at that. But the actual gig is a live stream, so you can stream it wherever you are in the world. You can sit at home in your gym jams, eating, mince pies, and just, enjoy yourself, dance like no one's watching you. I think a lot of people are doing these live streams because I think there's a sense of, we have to do something. We can't just sit here and do nothing. So we're all trying to connect with our audience and re-engage with people and just maybe put a little bit of a smile on their face as well, if we can.
And you're progressing, you're doing things differently. The concert is called Rainbow in the Dark. So is the new single. Interesting collaboration. Let's have a listen, and then you can talk about it after this. Here we go. Very good. The guy we saw there, Asaf Goran, and I believe you connected with him. It's interesting who we all connect with on social media, but you and he started a conversation on Instagram.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I've met so many interesting people on, social media, particularly on Instagram. I'm terrible at getting back to people's messages, but occasionally I'll get back to the messages and I go, oh, this is interesting. And, I'm working on music all the time. So I had this track. I sent it to Asaf. I thought it feels like it'll be the right thing for him. And actually he sings in Hebrew on the track. It's so beautiful. He rewrote some of the lyrics in Hebrew and it is just beautiful what he did. I was so chuffed when it came back, because we've never physically met. So it was quite amazing to do something so beautiful at a distance. That was a nice thing to do.
Yeah,
George, we've only got about a minute left to the end of the show, but just generally, how have you coped in lockdown? You said, you haven't been able to see people, you haven't been able to be on stage. How have you personally coped with it?
Well, I've sort of stayed in touch with friends. I've been using a lot of Zooming and a lot of Instagram and just, I like to see people. So I like FaceTime. I like to physically, this is fun because I like to see the person's face. So I've just been keeping in touch with family and friends. And in fact, I've probably talked to people more than I would do normally if I was busy. So it's been nice to reconnect with friends and to have sort of interesting conversations.
Right.
It's actually... the spontaneity is what I miss.
Yeah.
Let's go and have a coffee. Let's pop over here.
But Saturday.
You're going to have some of that on Saturday. Tickets from the SSE Arena website there for the concert. And it's also going to be live streamed at universe.com for that. The new single, Rainbow in the Dark, by Boy George, featuring Asaf Goran, is out now. George, my friend,
thank you.
compliments of the season to
Merry
you. Great
Christmas.
seeing you.
Have an amazing Christmas. God bless you both.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye,
mate.
love.
Thank you.